You know Las Vegas for its shows, gambling, and bright lights. But there is so much more to the city than meets the eye.
We're like a place from the past, like Las Vegas used to be.
Discover the city of Las Vegas on YouTube. Welcome to Down for Vegas, where we talk everything Vegas as told by segments on our YouTube channel at City of Las Vegas. I'm your host, Meredith Hall. On this show, we give you things to do from a local's perspective, along with lessons in Vegas history and behind the scenes of our departments and teams here at the city. February 1st marks the start of Black History Month. Down for Vegas is proud to celebrate the rich legacy of the African American community. This building right behind me is part of that legacy. This is the historic Westside School. It's the oldest school in Las Vegas, and today we take you inside the community it calls home. This is the story of the historic Westside of Las Vegas. At one point in Las Vegas history, the historic Westside was the only place in town African Americans could live. The area was quite literally segregated by a physical divide, which was previously the railroad, then later the interstate. The history of the West Side is Las Vegas history, and it is important that it isn't left out when considering Las Vegas history as a whole. Here's a brief overview of the timeline of the history of the historic West Side of Las Vegas. Las Vegas history itself all starts in 1904 with the McWilliams town site. The town site is 1,800 acres of land laid out west of the railroad tracks. It is envisioned to be downtown Las Vegas, but what it ends up being is the West Side. Las Vegas was officially founded in 1905 when the railroad company auctioned off the land east of the tracks. The railroad partners decided that would be downtown so that they could own it for themselves. The majority of people who already settled on the West Side moved east of the tracks. In 1923, the Las Vegas Grammar School, Branch No. 1, today known as the historic West Side School, opens, welcoming white, Latino, and Native American students. It is the first school on the West Side. It wasn't until 1926 when the first African American children began attending the West Side School in racially integrated classes. In 1928, Nevada receives federal approval to build the Hoover Dam, paving the way to a massive population boom. Due to the population growth, the following year, the city of Las Vegas asked African Americans to move out of downtown and into the West Side to make way for population growth and to bring more business downtown. African Americans are told the city will not renew their business licenses if they do not move, so they move west across the tracks, creating a literal racial divide. By 1930, African Americans have begun to purchase their own land on the West Side. They start businesses and a thriving community begins. Construction begins on the Hoover Dam in 1931, and African Americans pour into town seeking to work on the dam. These people, however, are denied jobs there. Out of approximately 20,000 workers hired to work on Hoover Dam, it's estimated only 44 were African American. No African American workers were allowed to live in Boulder City, which is a federal town built to house dam workers. As a result, those who did not get jobs on the dam moved to the West Side and set up tent housing for their families. This begins the larger West Side community. West Side population continues to explode during World War II as many African Americans are hired from the South to fill jobs at Basic Magnesium Incorporated, a plant in Henderson that produced magnesium needed to build aircrafts to help the war effort. Come 1942, boarding houses start to pop up on the West Side. Black performers on the Strip, such as Sammy Davis Jr., Nat King Cole, and Pearl Bailey, were not allowed to lodge in the same resorts they played shows at, so they would stay on the West Side in a boarding house. Historically designated in 2014, the Harrison House stays standing on F Street today. After the war, business continues to boom on the West Side as the community creates its own business core on Jackson Avenue, including casinos, restaurants, and other services. While business booms, housing cannot keep up, so the number of tent encampments increases. With the hopes that the community would leave as quickly as it came after the war, the city did little to address the housing shortage and are slow to install basic infrastructure that the rest of the city already has, such as sewage lines, electricity, and paved streets. The Moulin Rouge opens on May 24, 1955. It is the first racially integrated hotel casino in Las Vegas. It quickly becomes a national sensation and even rivals the properties on the Strip. The Moulin Rouge finally gives African Americans the opportunity to work in visible, well-paying jobs such as dealers, cocktail servers, bartenders, security guards, and managers. Up until this point, African Americans could only work in back-of-the-house jobs in the rest of town. Despite being so successful, the Moulin Rouge closes just 5.5 months later. It later reopens as a hotel, but it is never the same again. In 1960, an agreement was signed at the Moulin Rouge to integrate Las Vegas. African Americans were finally allowed access to dining, gaming, and shows, but they could still not obtain front-of-house jobs on the Strip. That finally came in 1971. In 1972, Clark County schools are forced to integrate. The school district's desegregation plan, including busing white children to African American schools for 6th grade, and then busing African American students to white schools for every other grade. This plan ended in 1992 when the district faced boycotts from African American families in West Las Vegas, who favored their children going to local schools. This new plan had hopes to improve education for all. In 2000, the 2020 Master Plan places West Las Vegas in a neighborhood revitalization area. This paves the way for government funds to be invested in the area, which is actively happening today. In 2003, the first of several fires guts the Moulin Rouge Casino. Plans are created to renovate the site, but nothing ever comes to fruition. Although the building was destroyed by the fire and then later demolished completely due to it being a safety hazard, in 2020, its neon sign was lit up once again as it was put on display at the Neon Museum. In 2016, the Historic Urban Neighborhood Design Redevelopment Plan, or the 100 Plan, is completed and formally adopted by the Las Vegas City Council. The plan is a partnership between members of the historic Westside community and the UNLV Downtown Design Center. The 100 Plan represents what the historic Westside community sees as appropriate reinvestment. Later in the year, the historic Westside School reopens after a 7-year restoration project. The multi-phase 100 Plan was released in 2020 and has since begun. Included in the plan is the revitalization of Jackson Avenue, repairing roads so that they are safe for pedestrians, cyclists, and motorists, creating an entertainment district in honor of the history of the Moulin Rouge, adding housing, parks, plazas, and more. After many, many years of segregation and neglect to the historic West Side, these changes are much needed and they are actively happening. Today, the historic Westside School that we stand on the grounds of is a design center that focuses on the past, present, and future of the community it serves. It's a location for community engagement where events, meetings, lectures, trainings, and social gatherings can take place. Staying in this neighborhood just around the block from here is the site where the Moulin Rouge Hotel and Casino once stood. It was the first racially integrated hotel casino not only in Las Vegas, but across the country. Local historian Clay T. White paints us a picture of what the Moulin Rouge was actually like back in its heyday.
So the Moulin Rouge is one of those places that became the first integrated hotel casino in Las Vegas, one that could rival any of those on the Las Vegas Strip. But the Moulin Rouge takes it a step higher in elegance, the entertainment, in the food, in all categories. It was built in 1954, opened in 1955. And in 1955, we have the first integrated hotel casino.
Entertainers were incredible. Nat King Cole, Sammy Davis Jr., you had every major African-American performer playing there, but not just that. They could sleep there. They could eat there.
It is themed after the Moulin Rouge in Paris. So we have people coming from Los Angeles and all over the country to mingle in this cosmopolitan location. It is owned by 3 white men, businessmen. So it is not this effort to bring integration to Las Vegas. That was not their primary goal. Their primary goal was to earn money, to make money. And they knew that African Americans at that time were well employed and could afford the entertainment that they were missing on the Las Vegas Strip. Because as you know, at that time, African Americans could not go into the dunes, the sands, the Desert Inn, and all of those wonderful places on the Las Vegas Strip. They could go into the back doors, they could clean the rooms there, or they could entertain on the stages.
Frank Sinatra had to fight for Sammy Davis to be able to use the dressing rooms, not just get escorted through the back door and escorted out the back door at the beginning and end of a set. These were people at the top of their game, the most important entertainers in this country, and they couldn't sit in the diner. They couldn't have a cocktail at the bar.
They could not gamble, they could not have dinner, they could not go to the shows. Now they can. They have a place that allows that. And it's this beautiful place. So there is a woman who tells the story. Her name is Catherine Joseph. She talks about opening night, how it's standing room only. All the beautiful people are there. The dance line, it's the first line of African-American dancers that you've seen in this area of the country. They are dancing the Watusi. They are dancing the same dances that they did at the Moulin Rouge in Paris. And it is just a wonderful place to be with this wonderful vibe. Moulin Rouge had done something else before it closed. In those last couple of months, it put on a show at 2:30 in the morning. And that show began to pull some of those entertainers and high rollers from the Las Vegas Strip. We have evidence that some of the showgirls were told that they could not leave the Strip to go to the Moulin Rouge or that they would lose their jobs. So we know how keen the competition was.
What made the Moulin Rouge so special? Well, okay, first of all, it was a place where black people and white people could go and have a cocktail together without anybody giving them the stink eye or kicking somebody out or beating somebody up.
So today, where the Moulin Rouge stood is now a vacant lot.
I feel that those grounds are sacred. That I can pick up the sidewalk there is nightmarishly depressing. They're important from an ancestral standpoint. They're important from a socio-political standpoint. They're important from a historical view. The reason the Moulin Rouge is so celebrated is because it filled a major hole in the city and the culture's needs, because the culture was corrupt, because the culture was wrong, because the city was wrong, not because the Moulin Rouge was anything special. It shouldn't have been anything special. It should have been what everybody was able to do from the get-go. The moment the Moulin Rouge proved any level of success, because Las Vegas is a city of commerce and not a city of politics primarily, the rest of the casinos followed suit and began to desegregate. That's what the Moulin Rouge brought about in this city. The Moulin Rouge was the first attempt to make that open playing field for all. And that's magic. That's magic is when you bring everybody to the table and you let them have a good time. What makes the Moulin Rouge special is sociological, is cultural, is racial, and political.
So I think the Moulin Rouge was a symbol. It wasn't open that long for that heyday period, but there was a certain elegance in the community that was not there before. And it was a draw, bringing people from all over the world to the Westside community. People today would love to see another Moulin Rouge.
Coming up next on Down for Vegas, we're continuing to celebrate Black History Month as we put the spotlight on 3 Black women-owned businesses in DTLV. Hear their stories up next. And not to be confused with rolling in the dough, we're literally rolling the dough as experts in the Arts District teach us how to make sourdough bread. We'll tell you where and show you how on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
We discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Welcome back to Down for Vegas. In honor of Black History Month, we're highlighting a few of our fabulous Black-owned businesses in downtown Las Vegas. Here are these amazing women's stories.
I'm the owner of Eat Downtown, Las Vegas, Nevada.
I am a cosmetologist.
So I'm Kume, I'm the owner of Tofu Tees. It's a t-shirt shop located in Ferguson's downtown.
30 years. I've never done anything but cook. I opened the Hard Rock Hotel years and years ago, opened the MGM Grand years and years ago, did my classic French training at the Eiffel Tower in the Paris Hotel. So I've been around for many, many moons.
I knew that it was bigger than me. You know, this is bigger than me. First challenge, you know, this was a total build out. So everything was brand new and I knew how to do nails, but I didn't know how to design a business, permits and plans and things of that nature. It was a learning curve. It was hard. It was a lot of sleepless nights.
I create all the designs and physically make the t-shirts. When I was 8, me and my mom found a notebook and inside it said, "Why are people so sensitive?" written in like my 6-year-old handwriting. We were like, this is really funny. Why would I write this? Because like I'm personally very sensitive. But we thought it was really funny, so my mom was like, we should put this on a t-shirt. We made one and then family and friends started wanting to buy them. So I made more and it just sort of grew into a business and then it just grew from there.
Something relatable here. It's inclusive, not exclusive, you know. People are very comfortable breaking bread with your friend or your partner and having a nice conversation over a good meal. American classic, approachable American classic with a couple spins. The menu stated simply because I don't want to intimidate people, and then you get the food and it's beautiful. It's usually more than you expect. You leave full because I also want you to get bang for your buck. You know, I've been in the kitchen, a classic French kitchen. I've been the only woman in the kitchen, and you know, you pull your weight. I don't really have an excuse of my gender or my sexual preference or the color of my skin. I just kind of pull up my boots and get to work.
Because it's like having a baby. It's like you're everything. Now I could probably do this with my eyes closed, but actually 4 years ago, I was crying and pulling my hair out and wanting to give up. It feels good to be a business owner. You get to actually express yourself through your business. It's really like it's mine, it's my baby, you know, it's very, very dear to me, and I love that. It's who I am. The experience is homey and inviting and welcoming.
I say get your practice, get practical practice, like go and do whatever it is you want to do somewhere for a while and get some experience and then be ready to suffer up.
Was it worth it?
Oh yeah, I live like a rock star. Oh yeah, I love my life.
Staying downtown, did you know you can not only eat delicious sourdough bread in the Arts District, but you can also learn how to make it yourself too? Class is in session at 1228 Main and I enrolled. Check it out. Today, I'm headed back into the kitchen and I'm gonna be learning how to make bread from the experts here at 1228. Let's go inside. Known for being affiliated with Wolfgang Puck, 1228 Main is a full-service bar, restaurant, and bakery in the heart of the Arts District in downtown Las Vegas. Right out of their kitchen, they bake hundreds of pastries and pieces of bread every day to supply the Wolfgang Puck restaurants in Las Vegas as well as other clients. The man behind all of that, head baker Noel Rosello.
We're just gonna mix it by hand.
After moving to Las Vegas from Guam in 2015, Chef Noel started right at Wolfgang Puck's Spago and has been in the family ever since.
Because as a baker for a little over 18 years now, I'm very sensory. The moment I come in here in the bakery, the smell, the sound of the ovens going, the steam, and then of course taste at the end.
Class is in session. I got my apron on and we got to work. Don't worry, I won't make a bunch of crummy puns this time. Okay, maybe a couple. The baguettes are Chef Noel's favorite thing to make in the bakery. As I quickly learned, he has shaping these things down to a literal science.
I start right here. I go back and I apply pressure going forward. I come back up, apply pressure going forward, come back up.
Mine kind of looked like a baguette.
You could kind of see like it's like tip, it gets big, and then it comes back down.
Yeah, that looks perfect. You can definitely tell who the expert is.
Each baguette is to each their own, right? It's gonna be very...
It's expressionism.
Here is our very old 20-year-plus starter.
So what you're saying is this starter could almost buy a drink in Vegas.
Absolutely. And you can tell it's very good when you can see all the kind of like the spider webs.
We took that starter and Noel showed me how to fold it into the bread. Thankfully, this technique is not on a need-to-know basis. You mix the dough together until it's nice and smooth.
We're gonna go ahead and set this aside, and I'm gonna show you.
We're gonna do some TV magic here.
Yeah. Right here.
Wow, crazy, perfectly mixed sourdough. After shaping the dough into what will eventually be our loaves, it went back into its bowl. Bloop.
Then we're gonna go ahead and let this sit in the fridge overnight, and
All right, we'll come back tomorrow
and bake it up.
Yeah. All right, so 24 hours later, we let this ferment overnight. We're back, it's a new day. I'm still wearing the same clothes. After sitting overnight, these are ready to go into the oven. Last, but certainly not least, we took the loaves and baguettes from earlier back into the kitchen and Noelle taught me how to score. This process is going to allow the gases to escape in a uniformed manner. After popping the breads into the oven, it was just the anticipation and waiting game from there. Another thing that's pretty good, these puns. Anyway, time to get this bread from the oven. Instead of rolling in the deep, do you roll in the dough?
That's a good one.
Man, I'm on a roll. We're gonna go ahead and try this bread that we started making 4 days ago. We do a little cheers. I love that it's a little warm. Like it just feels so fresh. The crispiness of the outside and just like the soft texture of the inside. So good. So Noelle here is going to go ahead and do some ASMR with this baguette, and we're gonna go ahead and cut into it. So what do you have to say about that baguette? Very compelling. Cheers. Want to make 1228 bread yourself? You can. Every other Wednesday, Chef Noelle teaches a bread making class where you too can learn exactly what we did today from the expert himself. You even get to take some sourdough starters so you can do it yourself at home. For Chef Noelle, his favorite part about teaching the class is
from raw ingredients to how it looks, you're like, no, that's not bread, until how it actually looks as an end result.
People are surprised they can do this at home with minimal ingredients. I too got my own sourdough starter to take home. The starter started.
That's how the starter started.
I'm gonna be getting into bread making, guys.
I'm very passionate when it comes to this. So when I see something from raw ingredients to how it looks beforehand and the end product, as you can see here, it's just amazing.
Not to be dramatic, but this was a loaf-changing experience. You know I don't do things half-baked, so I just had to throw one more in there. Still to come on Down for Vegas. While other parts of the country hunker down for the winter, in Las Vegas, it's still sunny and could be the perfect time of year to do some hiking. We take a trip out to Red Rock Canyon.
Thank you for calling your GED Pep Talk Center. All right, now, are you ready for your GED Pep Talk?
Being nervous is okay. It just shows that you're serious about getting your diploma.
A lot of things are scary. Heck, I'm scared of clowns.
No quiero ir. Danny, no lo puedo hacer.
DMC, life in your pep talk style.
Just keeping it real, Debs, just keeping it real. Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Welcome back. While it is winter, temperatures generally stay pretty mild here in Las Vegas. This could be the perfect time of year to get the family together for a hike. Jennifer Davies takes us on a family-friendly adventure out at Red Rock Canyon.
Hi, we're going to Red Rock on a trip.
Come along with us as we have a fun-filled day with the family exploring Red Rock Canyon. So we just checked in. There was a little bit of a line, but we got through pretty fast. Advanced registration is required fall through spring, so make sure you check out online before you go. Right now, it's about $22 to register your vehicle online before you arrive, but that could change, so check out the website before you go. And now we're gonna hit up the 13-mile scenic route. The visitor center is a must. You need to go and they're gonna give you a map, and they're gonna also, if you ask them very nicely, they're gonna give you this junior ranger guide and these really cute pins for your kids as well. So make sure to talk to them. They give awesome recommendations about what kind of trails you're looking for. And it's also a really great place to let your kids run around and get that energy out. So you can talk to the rangers and look at the map and figure out what hike you wanna do. Got our map. And we're gonna go to our first place. We're gonna go to Calico to see the overlook. like a mountain goat. All right, so we're now on the 13-mile loop going around, and it takes you about 30 minutes to drive the whole way around. So we're on our way to the next stop, which is the High Point Overlook, and then we're gonna go hike a little trail. Okay, we're now here at the High Point, which is more than 4,000 feet at elevation. It's a beautiful panoramic view of the entire valley. The rangers recommended some family-friendly trails over here, the Petroglyph Wall Trail, and then also Lost Creek, which is another really family-friendly trail. So we're gonna go check both of those out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here at Willow Springs, when you get out of the car, there is a bathroom. Very important if you're gonna be bringing kids here. And then over here, you can see there's a cute little picnic area right off the parking lot if you want to eat before or after the hike. All right, here's the hike we're gonna do. We're gonna go on the Willow Spring Trail. You can see it right there behind me, and it is 1.1 miles. You ready? Show us your compass.
Yeah! We're gonna keep exploring.
Okay, let's go.
With you guys.
Okay. This is a cool little trail. Lots of different things to keep the kids occupied. This part's a little steep, but my 4-year-old is doing just fine. Kyla's beating all of us. We've been doing good so far. It's been a really nice, varying trail, and we've seen a lot of really cool nature.
It's going great. There's been a few cactuses, by the way, but we're good.
Is that a cave? Go look inside.
This could be our secret hideout.
Yeah. Oh, was that a cool cave?
Yeah.
Cool little bridge here right at the end. At least the way we came. If we came the other way, I guess it would be at the beginning. Oh, there's a creek down here. We're almost back, and this was the perfect trail for them. It had tons of different things for them to explore. A little rock scrambling, got to see some nature. There were some signs along the way explaining what we were seeing, and it was perfect. It was a little hard to get out of the house to come here, and any parent can understand what I mean, but it's worth it once you get them out here. Definitely bring water, maybe some snacks, because you know how kids are, but overall, they really, really enjoyed it, and it was a wonderful day spent outside enjoying nature. Was it fun?
Yeah!
That's all the time we have. Join us here next time on Down for Vegas for more things to do, Vegas history, and behind-the-scenes looks at the city of Las Vegas. All of these videos and so much more can be found at lasvegasnevada.gov/connect, where you can watch, stream, and read everything you need to know about the city of Las Vegas. And as I say on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.